So what happens next is 2 weeks into the trip, my stepmom sort of starts to change, and I notice that she's more shut down and reserved and a little bit cold towards me, and I can't figure out if it's because she's stressed out with my dad and her work and everything, or if it's something I'm doing. So, like I told you guys, I deal with things head on. You know, if something's bothering me or if I notice something's wrong, I'll go try and figure it out. So, over the next couple of days, I start approaching her at different times, trying to figure out what's going on without seeming too obvious. And, we end up having a couple really long conversations and stuff, and she opens up a lot, and vice versa. And I tell her I'm upset about my dad, and she feels like, I'm sorry that this isn't what you want it to be, but I hope, you're still having fun, and I am, and I'm going to the pool every day with my brothers, and I'm hanging out with my sisters, and I really am having a good time during the day. But when my dad comes home at night, the whole atmosphere in the house changes. It's like this wave, and it's uncomfortable, and it's like there's this elephant in the room, and I feel like I'm the one who has to do something about it because he's so much of a wimp, or so much of a, you deal with it, that nothing's going to happen. It's like we're stuck like this, and neither of us is going to budge. And he's so stubborn that he really, truly, in his mind and heart, believes that he's entitled to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and that I just need to sit there and pick up the pieces and deal with it and assimilate to his family, and that he doesn't have to change for me at all. So that's obviously not a good thing, and I'm picking up on those cues, as well as picking up on my stepmom's cues that she's becoming more and more whatever. And the tension is building with Shelby and my dad, and he's trying so hard to get everyone else in the family to hate my sister's boyfriend that I actually started to kind of fall for it. I mean, I didn't hate him by any means, but I was just like, who is this punk? Why are you with him? I have only met him once. So then I started hanging out with Shelby outside the house without anyone else. We went and got lunch at O'Charlie's, and we went to the mall and we hung out, and then we started hanging out with her boyfriend. And I'm noticing this kid's a really good guy. He's a little immature, and he's a little goofy, but he's a great guy. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He treats her very well. He's very respectful, and all these things. And so I'm sitting there going, there's a huge discrepancy here. Why does my dad hate him so much, and why is he trying to break them up so badly? Now I'm starting to come to terms with just how manipulative and controlling my dad is. All of my siblings are homeschooled because the schools in the Atlanta area are overcrowded, and the high schools, at least, are a little bit scary. They've got tons of drug incidents and violence, and private school. I said pirate school. Private school isn't really an option because for 4 kids it's very expensive, and with the economy and all that. So they've been homeschooled for a while. I didn't give that a second thought until I started noticing that my 19-year-old sister had a 10 o'clock curfew, and that my other sister didn't really have any friends, and that my brothers never really leave the house. And then I started going, this is really weird and kind of creepy. I grew up in public school, and I'm fine. I understand that there's shit that happens in school, and your parents need to protect you from it. And if there's people coming to school with guns and knives, that's one thing. But to kind of hide them from the world is another. And I'm noticing all these things, and I'm getting a little bit more freaked out. And then on top of that, I'm noticing that my brother is starting to mimic my dad with these off-color remarks about certain groups of people. And it's making me increasingly uncomfortable. And I'm internalizing all of this. Every single thing I just told you, I was internalizing it. Because I'm not going to come there and start going, I have a problem with this, 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 and this. Let's fix it. That's not really how things work. So as I'm internalizing this, I'm shutting down more and more, and I'm becoming a little bit more, I don't want to say bitchy, but a little bit more unfriendly. And I can notice that everyone else is noticing it. And so that's making me uncomfortable even more, because the last thing I want to do is come here and make things worse for these people. Because I'm seeing that the situation isn't as peachy keen as I thought it was. So now I'm coming to the point where my stepmom is pretty much just avoiding me. And I'm so uncomfortable and I feel so alone because my dad is not trying to have any sort of relationship with me. He comes home, goes right into his room, and stays on his computer and watches TV. And my brothers will go in there and talk to him, but he won't come out. I mean, he'll make dinner, but he won't really engage in conversation. And this is every day. So by day, it's wonderful. I'm hanging out with my siblings. I'm having fun. I feel completely comfortable. My stepmom comes home, and it's a little uncomfortable, but she still tries to, be nice. She doesn't go out and try to be rude or anything. And then my dad comes home, and it's like, whoosh, very uncomfortable. So this is building day after day after day for about 4 days. And finally, my stepsister, Shelby, comes into, we have this really long talk, and she's very upset with my dad for multiple reasons, like I told you in the past, and she just has no relationship with him. And they had a huge blowout a couple weeks ago about her boyfriend, and it's just been uncomfortable ever since then. And I'm kind of caught in the middle because my stepmom tells me the parents' side of it, and then my sister tells me her side, and I can't help but relate more to my sister. I mean, hello, I'm close to her age, and I've been through stuff, and everything that my stepmom's telling me just sounds so overdramatic and ridiculous, and so I'm starting to feel this wedge build where I'm like, there's something very wrong here with this relationship. The parents are so radical in their things. They're either all the way over here or all the way over here. And Shelby and the rest of us are somewhere in the middle, and we're like, we're not so dramatic and so whatever. Finally, it comes to a head, and my stepsister and I leave, and we have this talk, and I'm really emotional because I'm feeling like no one wants me there other than the kids. And like my other stepsister, Katie, I'm starting to feel she doesn't want me there. And then the parents, I feel like they don't want me there. And so I'm uncomfortable, and I'm crying, and I'm talking to Shelby, and she's like, look, the last thing I want to do is make things worse for you, but I feel like you should know what the situation really is. My stepmom has been hearing nonstop crap from my dad about you, He's saying all this crap, and he's manipulating her, and she's becoming really shut down and uncomfortable. And basically, she told me that she doesn't really want you here anymore. And so I'm sitting there scratching my frickin' head, going, what the F? What did I do? I didn't do shit. If anything, I'm babysitting all day, every day, and not complaining or thinking twice about it because I'm having fun. But you're dropping your kids off at me, and I'm paying for the gas because you guys aren't giving me money, and I'm taking them out, and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm never even home. And when I am home, my dad is making me so freaking uncomfortable that I just go upstairs and play with my brothers. And I go in my room and I talk to my friends on Facebook, and I talk to my mom on the phone. Well, now he's throwing all of that in my face to my stepmom and making it seem like I'm an ungrateful bitch who just came here and, whatever, did all these things that were horrible. And so I don't know what to do at this point, and I'm like, freaking come and tell me this. I'm hearing all of this secondhand from my freaking 19-year-old sister. My dad and my stepmom haven't said a freaking word to me. So I'm feeling the weight of this situation more and more, feeling like, oh my God, what the hell? Meanwhile, they're off in La La Land thinking that I don't know any of this, and trying to pretend like everything's peachy keen. Then the straw that broke the camel's back, I can't believe I'm going to have to make another video, but the straw that broke the camel's back is my brother, who is 13, Zachary, and my other brother, Nick, who is 11, about to be 12. The three of us were playing Rock Band, and I hit my finger and I said the word shit. And my brother Nick turns to me and he goes, I'm getting really tired of you cussing. And I look at him kind of surprised, and I'm like, what do you mean? I don't ever really cuss. I mean, maybe 3 times since I've been here, and I definitely have never said the F word. And so I'm kind of like surprised. And, at first my first reaction is, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the S word, but I didn't say that because I was like so confused. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm so sick of you cussing. That sounds like a loaded statement. It also sounds like something he didn't think of by himself. And so I'm confused, and I'm like, And then Zachary chimes in and starts just going off on me. and I'm gonna have to make another video.